Okay. So this video is about session view versus arrangement view, and it's just my thoughts. Everybody's got their opinions on why they choose to use one or the other. I feel like when you hear the title Ableton Live, the steer away or the turn away for most people is that it's focused on live recording and loop based, I guess is what people think. And it's true that originally, I think when they made it, that was their intended goal. And you can see here that I have two things recorded. Now, let me show you this. This would not be here when you're working in live. This is how it's gonna look initially. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay, so you record in a part. So like if I'm gonna record on this line here, let's turn off a scaler. Let's unlock it because I don't want it to play in a scale right now. Okay, cool. All right, so we're here and we want to record something in. Okay, so you record in, and here you see one of the beauties of it are you could just play, and wherever it's, like let's say I'm at the 4th bar, it's gonna automatically, it realized I only played 4 bars worth of stuff, and so it just cut it at the 4, which is great. That's pretty fast. You don't have to edit. You don't have to cut the loop off or try to adjust it. But if you want to get intricate and really more detailed, to me, that's not fun. That's more like a loop-based device, which is great for, I mean, you can use like a Loopy Pro on iOS, right, to do it. And it's the same principle. But for me, it's just not, it's not fun because I want to be able to, if I go in and play 5 bars and I want to move the 5th bar to the 2nd bar and all that, now I can't do that because I'm gonna have to either replay it completely out. So it works great for live, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work great if you're trying to just build a track from scratch and you're not really sure what you want to play, and you hear a chord and it's like, ooh, that chord is nice. It's a lot. It's just not the best method, in my opinion. This is all opinions. To work from. Now I can hit this new features. I can hit fit to scale and it will. I'm gonna turn this off. So there's the bass note. I'm gonna just put this down here. So this sounds terrible because I did not plan this to be on. I purposely. They do have a feature in here where you can crop the clip. If you want, like let's say you play 5, but you really don't, you can crop it, right? There's all kinds of stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and delete it because I really didn't care about that clip. I wasn't trying to play it. So performance-wise, you drop your clips in, all your parts in here. You can trigger them and have them. I mean, that's a really cool feature, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually really good, but it is based on more live performance. Now, jumping over to the arrangement view, I'm gonna turn these off. By the way, tab moves back and forth. Let's say you create in here and then you wanna bring it to the arranger because it would be nice if it was like, yeah, it was already in the arrangement view. Sure, I'd be more excited. But because it's not, now I have to drag the clip, and then drop it on the track wherever it's gonna go. So let's say it's gonna go here. You gotta drop it on there. It doesn't automatically just put it there for you unless somebody knows something I don't know, but I'm just saying from my experience, I have not seen it do that yet. Oops, that was bad. So here's what I'm not liking. I don't like all this extra work is what I don't like. For me, this is extra work and it's not moving me to wanna create. Sure, if you want to do a quick drum track, I can see where a drum loop that's maybe like 4 bars and you just want something to start building from. But then I have to get over here where I can actually play. Now see, here's my freedom that I don't believe in giving up too much. Versus doing what you just saw me do, which is move these clips over and then try to arrange all these clips that you've created. Here's where I like the freedom. If I'm in here and I want to start creating something, I'm going to use scaler just to show you chords more or less. And I'm just going to pick a scale and we will go with, what is the scale in? Dorian. Let's find Dorian. Okay, Dorian mode. Pick it. All right, and so here's some Dorian chords, simple chords. So instead of triads, let's do like sevenths. Let's try ninths. All right, I'm just gonna play whatever, it doesn't really matter. So let's say I'm in here, I wanna play, I'm gonna go hit record. I'm gonna go back to the beginning so I can show you what I was talking about. Back to the beginning, boom. Now I'm gonna hit record. Okay, now that's just 8 bars. And then of course I added in this whatever note here that I don't know why I did that. So you can adjust the notes here and do whatever you want. I'm gonna turn this metronome down. One of the things I wish they would fix is this. Just let the metronome have its own volume so you can, okay, you see how I did that? If you want to loop it, hit Command L and it loops this section. Now you can play over it if you want by copying. I'm just doing this just for, let's do this. Boom. All right, so. And if you know what the keys are or whatever, if you don't, you just look up here and you can see what they are so you can learn your scale, which is pretty cool. Now, a lot of people, and including myself at times, will start with a loop, but I'm just doing this to show you why I prefer this method. So here's 8 bars. Now let's say I want to solo over that. Oops. Got to start at the beginning, huh? There we go. Okay, now I did it there. I did it within the loop just to show you. Still looping here, but I usually wouldn't. I would have this out to 16 and I'd have double the bars or whatever. So I still can create the loop. I can duplicate the loop, right? Just put it there, set it at 16. And now I got all this freedom to just keep playing. Now here's what makes it stronger, because you might feel like that's the same thing as what you could just do in the session view. And you're right if you're saying, yes, you could do the same loops as far as bars. Sure, you can play it. And sure, you could go over a bar if you wanted to, have it go to 9 bars in the session view and keep it that way. However, the extra step of dragging from one view to another when I'm not really playing live doesn't make sense to me. And it just doesn't really make me want to create in Ableton. I mean, it just doesn't move me. And some people, for them, this doesn't move them. Doing it in a linear view like this versus just making clips. They prefer to make loops and clips. But if I'm in this other view, I'm not going to finish a song. I'm just not. This is really for performing. This is like when you grab a piece of hardware and you, let's say an MPC, and I'm gonna use MPC only because you create an MPC, and then if you don't use the song mode, or if you don't track your beat out to a DAW of some sort, a lot of times you just keep a beat in there and you don't finish it. That's what working in session view is to me. It's like having a, now some people can finish in it if they've been doing it for years, that's their thing. But I'm saying for a person coming into this, if you worked in this, you're going to be doing the same thing as if you had, let's say, an MPC where you don't finish a beat. To finish a song for me, you need to have an arranger. And you need to be able to say, okay, I want this to go 1 bar or less or whatever you're going to do as far as your bars go. How many bars you're going to have a song. You need something to be able to arrange it. It's just not meant for arranging in session view. It's meant for playing live. And you can use it to stimulate your creativity if you need it that way. For those on iPad, Beatmaker 3 has has an arrangement view, a linear arrangement view, and then it has that clip version that you can build clips in. Now, I don't like it. I love Beatmaker 3. I just don't like that clip view thing at all. It's just not me. So you have to figure out what works for you. But for me, I don't want to waste time building here, knowing I got to bring it to the arranger and then eventually get there. But if it moves and motivates you, by all means, do it, right? For me, if I build a template, as you see here, this is my main template that I use. It's not super intricate. It's just simple stuff. Then I don't have to go set everything up. And that's what kills, to me, what kills your vibe in a DAW is more of the setup process to set each thing up. You think about an MPC. I'm using it again because an MPC comes, when you open up a sequence track, generally that initial one is already set for you to just select what instrument you're going to use, and then you start building. That's what makes it instant, like, feel of, oh, I'm creating something. Well, that's what a template is in a DAW. It's the same thing. It's set up, so when you jump in, and you can set templates in MPC 2, and you can also set templates in Beatmaker 3, and anything you have nowadays pretty much has some form of template in it. AUM has a template thing that you can do. So you can set a template up and jump right in and start creating. So you don't have to do that every time. But you still got to find out what motivates you to make music in that particular item. And Logic is a wonderful tool too that is more affordable, I think, and has a lot of great built-in instruments, especially natural instruments. I think Ableton's strengths lie in its synths and its ability to be more modular, but they both are great tools. Not one tool is better than the other. It's just whatever your preference is. So again, I say this to say that the reason why I never work in this view is because it doesn't move me to create. It just moves me to create a loop, and I'm gonna get bored really quick with it because I'm trying to make something that sounds more like a song, and that to me just sounds like a bunch of loops that are just playing. And it just, and I'm not saying that to discredit anybody that makes loops or makes these type of things, but if you do using LFOs, if you're using different things like that, you're making it sound more modular. So it's cool because it works for that workflow. You can do that. It's more of a live, kind of in the moment, live in the moment type of vibe. And I think that's a great vibe. I actually listen to a lot of ambient and things of that nature. I like to even make it at times. But when I'm trying to flesh out an actual track that I want to arrange with chords and with things of that nature, I need an arrangement view. And I'm not interested in starting here and then moving over here when I could just start here and be done with it. It's just workflow, time, and your preference. That's what it boils down to. And it's more of preference than it is any of the other two because you can get used to any workflow. So anyway, that's it for this video. I'm not making it long. I'm going to be out. Just wanted to show you my thoughts on session view, which is this, versus arrangement view. In my opinion, this is for live use. This is more for creating an actual arranged track. And that's how I view it. I'd love to hear how you view it in the comments. No negative talk, though. I don't want to hear that because the reality is we all create differently and have different vibes. And that's what makes music fun, is that it's not just one way or the other. So keep it positive, and just be honest with what you like to do. And tell me what style of music you like too, because that can help me to appreciate why you do something. If I know what style of music you tend to make. So I'd love to hear that. All right, well, that's it for this video. I'm done. Until the next one, I'm out.